action's coming. I know what's coming.
Oh shit, you know what's coming now!
And I already fucked up the intro, so...
Hello and welcome to Wasted Opinions! Today we're going to be talking about things that maybe disappointed us. Whether it's a movie, a game, TV show, a book, maybe an album of an artist that you listen to. But usually we're talking about the things that we love and things that are our favorites. This is we're going to do kind of the reverse. We're going to do the things that, you know, we had high hopes, but they just didn't pan out for us in the end. We just weren't happy with it. Before we get started, what's your name on the end here?
I'm Mustard Keg. But without the tard.
Nah, I think it's very much with the tard. Hail to the king, baby. I'm LewisLightning.
Do you want to know where they can find us?
Not yet. Not for a little while. And it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm CountryBoy. So we're going to do a shot first before we get everything going.
Plinko.
Yeah. And, okay, actually, no, I'll let Mr. Lightning get the ball rolling today.
Okay, biggest disappointment. So I kind of listed mine off in worst to, I guess, least worst disappointments.
Oh.
The movie The Predator. That is the biggest abomination I've ever seen. Like, not Predator. Don't get it confused with the one featuring
The one you were most
Schwarzenegger.
the one you had like on your most anticipated list? Yeah.
Yeah, it was on, I don't know if it was, it might have been an honorable
I think it was
mention.
honorable mentions.
Oh,
but
He
yeah,
did mention it, yeah.
I'm a big Predator fan or whatever, and I went to this one because it was, they said before, something of a reboot or reimagining or something like that.
I think it's supposed to be a continuation.
It was just awful.
Yeah.
It didn't even fucking matter. It was like Predators was kind of taking a different direction. Aliens vs. Predators better than this. This was complete awful. It felt like there were scenes missing from this film.
The editing was odd, yeah.
And apparently it kind of was, because Shane Black's the director, right?
Yeah.
He had some friend.
Well, that's strange. Shane Black is usually pretty good.
He had some friend he had in the film with him. He had a small role in the movie. But apparently this guy was like a pedophile or a child molester or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know any of this.
Neither did most of the cast until Olivia Munn was on set, and she's like, I'm not doing scenes with this guy. He's whatever, sexual deviant or whatever,
Oh.
like sex offender.
So let's cut every scene he's
So
in.
they cut, exactly.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, that was a big part of it. The overall comedy feel of it, like, what? Predator has nothing to do with fucking comedy. How they use these people
How
from...
the Shane Black selection sometimes just seems strange.
Yeah.
Because
I say, I'm not... He's not all and out terrible in my books, but I'm not a big fan of him. They used people from the military that had, like, handicaps or post-traumatic stress, and they kind of used them in, like, comical sense, like... And then the kid who's like the hero, the chosen one by the Predators, it's because he's got autism. It makes him superhuman. Fucking stupid. It was the worst movie and I went in there with low expectations. So it just disappointed me even from that low bar.
I'll say, like, I didn't really think it was good, but I've seen worse movies. I have seen worse movies. But no, you're right. It's bad. It is bad.
Short something that's almost like a college film thing, like maybe like The Room. I can't.
No, I wouldn't compare it to something like that. There are movies where I've been very disappointed with, some of which might be on my list.
But yeah, that's my first pick and the worst pick.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty bad one. I'll go to you there, MussKeg.
okay, good. Because I was worried you might take this one.
Good.
I'm gonna go with a movie, and I could pick two, but I'm gonna pick one specifically. Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales. The first three movies are amazing. Went into on Stranger Tides with high hopes, in spite of Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
And you know, I can still watch that movie to a degree. I just kind of try and fast forward through her scenes, but the Dead Men Tell No Tales.
You thought they would have fixed what they did in Stranger Tides, sort of thing.
And
They
you know,
gotta
Javier
move on.
Bardem is awesome. You know, he in the trailer he looked like a real cool villain. But
Who's he supposed to be? Like
Captain Salazar.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was like Blackbeard or
He's like a
something.
Probably a
Spaniard or
Spaniard, Spanish, and probably somebody known. But I mean, the reality was, in the biggest problem with Dead Men Tell No Tales, and honestly, I think I fell asleep watching it.
Oh, yeah?
The biggest problem with Dead Men Tell No Tales is I think it was the worst Jack Sparrow we saw out of all the five of them. So I was really disappointed with that movie.
I would say that I hate Stranger Tides a little more than that one, but
Oh yeah,
they're pretty much the same for me.
that's what I mean. I could pick two.
They went.
Penelope Cruz-ness of that one ruined it.
That's an automatic big negative for me.
I liked Ian McShane in on Stranger Tides.
Yeah.
And I really liked. I mean, I had Jeffrey Rush in it still.
Yeah.
So I like Barbosa.
Yeah, he was in the fifth one.
Well, oh, sorry, yes, he was in the fifth one. Yes,
Yeah.
but I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Pretty important part of the fifth one.
That's
But-
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's why-
No, but he in the fourth one he was pretty funny in that one too. Is like the pompous sailing for the King England kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I'm way out of it. I haven't seen anything after the third one. So
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I don't disagree. I'll go with a game. It's a game that I had some relatively high expectations for it. Jack Black was the main character in it. It's Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
I played the demo for this game, and the demo was fun as hell. Like you're this roadie. You work
Pop
for
band.
some sort of rock band, rock metal band or something, and you like get somehow summoned to like this other world, and you pick up this guitar, and it's called your axe. It's also your weapon, and it's like a hack and slash, kind of almost like Zelda or God of War sort of thing.
at the start, yeah.
Yeah, and that was fun as hell. Like for the first few hours, I'm playing this game and I'm having a good time, and then all of a sudden it turns into like a RTS tower defense freaking game. I'm like, why? Why would you change the mechanics?
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of this game was fun. Like it's got this rock. It's like a rock world that
Yeah.
you're in. Like you have these minions behind you. They're like headbangers. So their
Headbangers.
necks are really thick and they got like long hair and they fight for you. And then all of a sudden,
Like rock gods and stuff.
you're doing a tower defense game, and like you totally fucked this game up for me. Like you're driving this awesome, cool.
It sucks that you put all
car,
that time
Mister.
into it too. Like you got 3 hours.
Yeah,
or
the
something
first
like
few
that.
hours were awesome. You met Ozzy Osbourne and Lemmy, I think. Was in
yeah,
it.
Lemmy was
There's
in
some
it.
pretty cool rock gods in this game, but then they ruin it by making it a freaking tower defense game, and like
Oh.
it just I couldn't play it after that. It just wasn't fun anymore. Like it was fun when you were actually doing the slashing and hacking.
I honestly
and
thought
fighting
it was
guys.
like a Guitar Hero like rip off kind of thing or something.
Not at
like
all
that, yeah.
like that. No.
I totally agree with your assessment. I would have kept playing it though, because I just would like to see more of the rock world, like what
Yeah.
they were gonna do. Like who else was in it? Like we've seen Ozzy
Yeah.
and Lemmy, but
Like I love that Jack Black played the main character. He did a
Yeah,
good job as that
perfect.
character. Like that's
Yeah.
totally what I would have
Yeah.
pictured like this character to be, is a Jack Black type. But it just ruined it for me after you got to the freaking tower defense bullshit. Sucked.
my next pick, like I said, going from worst to the worst to not that bad. Resident Evil 4. I heard so much good stuff about this, especially.
What was it on? Just Resident
It's
Evil.
been on multiple
GameCube
consoles,
originally,
and that's
and
what
then
I played.
I think they ported it to the PS3 and stuff. And
Yeah.
the consoles
still-
after this. It's moved to all consoles.
I always thought
afterwards.
Resident Evil was a PlayStation exclusive for some reason.
I think maybe
One or two might have been.
Maybe
Maybe
Nemesis.
even 3. Yeah, but then after that it was like
Okay.
all around.
But yeah, I heard such good things about it, and this is like way after the fact. So I got it. I got it on the original GameCube, like that version, so I could play it as they saw it. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Like the tank controls do not work for the pacing of the action. I don't know. I didn't find anything that scary. The pace of the gameplay felt very slow and everything. Like I hadn't finished it just because I was like, this is boring.
I have a
I
question. Did you play any Resident Evil games before that?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I played. I think it was Code Veronica. I didn't finish it either,
Okay.
and I think I played a little bit of 2.
Okay.
Maybe Nemesis, but I know 2. I have.
Okay.
I remember the dogs. Dogs was 2, right?
Dogs was, I think, 1.
Then maybe it's 1.
There were dogs in 2 as well. But, whatever.
But yeah, this is just so awful. And like when people talk about how bad, Resident Evil 5 and 6 got, I'm like, this is pretty much there, in my opinion, when I started playing. Like, there's been games with tank control before that I played,
Yeah.
and I managed with those at the same era of gaming.
It's kind of crazy because it's a lot of people's like favorite game.
Yeah, it's
A lot of people.
I
I never played it myself.
I was looking up for another show we were doing. I was looking up lists of games and like top rated on Metacritic or something, and it's in like the top 10.
It's like
maybe
up
top
there with like
20.
Ocarina and stuff.
Yeah.
With a lot of people.
Wow.
This game fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I hated it. It was
I
basic
guess
disappointment going in.
The Lewis controversy strikes again.
Yeah.
He's back.
Oh, I know.
Back.
My disappointments are going to probably go into that controversial pick.
Okay.
I'll go with the game theme. I'm not going to do what you guys think, Anthem. I'm going to say a game that
So I'll do Anthem now.
just kidding. Beyond Two Souls. I loved Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Thought it was a fantastic game. Thought it was a, I don't want to say revolutionary type game, but it was a brand new take on something that really hadn't been done before.
Yeah, I think it came up before like the Walking Dead games didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before them. So, but even then, it also had more control in it, right? And,
Yeah.
And in the Walking Dead game, like in this game, you know, there's even more so you don't know what you're doing. Like Lewis with the not being able to keep the woman alive because Lewis thinks, oh, I'm just going to jump out this window.
Oh, that you mean?
Yeah.
But you know, like
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Yeah. So, same I don't know the developer's name.
Quantum Dream is the
Quantic
developer.
Dream? Or
Quantic Dream, yeah.
Okay.
David Cage is the guy that directs these games.
Okay.
This is his brainchild.
So I had really high hopes going into Beyond Two Souls, especially since you had Ellen Page, who I thought I was, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe, yeah. So I had some pretty high hopes for it, and I mean, there's a whole sequence where you cook dinner.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
That's what I watched you play. I'm like, I'm not getting this game.
Bunch of hungover friends. I'm going, hey, let's watch Craig play this game.
Yeah.
Literally have a guy coming over for a date.
Yeah. Chop,
And-
chop.
Chop. And I think because I thought I had, but to their credit, I didn't realize that it was like timing mattered. Like I only had so much time, so I made a shit dinner. It was just because I kept like looking around trying to find things instead of focusing on the dinner.
Yeah.
Oh no, just didn't do it for me.
Did you finish it?
I did finish it. Yeah,
It's definitely, like, it's disappointing.
it's
but
too mind-fucky. Is the best.
Is
way
it?
to put it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like it went into like Stranger Things type.
I was
of
always
territory,
intrigued
you know,
by it,
like
but I never. I thought about getting it until I saw you playing. I was like, nope. Like you were walking around like an Indian burial ground or something at one point. I think. Too.
Yeah. That is.
And then like after that, you were chopping up food up for dinner.
Well, then there's like flashbacks to when you're in the army and stuff. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's just long story short. Heavy Rain was an awesome detective noir thriller
Yeah.
that worked well with that. This was like, okay, now who's the director? Sorry,
David Cage.
Okay, well this was David Cage saying, now I can become Kojima and create a mail delivery system.
What's
Before
good
Kojima.
is Detroit Become Human brings it back to. Like,
I haven't put.
That's
I
what I was
haven't
gonna
downloaded.
ask.
I haven't downloaded.
It brings
yet,
it back to
but
like the Heavy Rain.
I would
Okay.
say so, yeah.
Okay, that's good to look
It's not quite as good as Heavy Rain, but it's up.
Not quite, but it's good. It's up there. Yeah.
So, anyways, big disappointment. It's your turn.
Up to me. Okay, I'll go with. I know it's a movie that you had on your list for last year, but you never actually saw it yet. Hellboy, 2019.
I still do want to see it, but I mean, I have no expectations.
Oh man, like I heard about all the bad reviews and stuff, but I actually liked the trailer. I thought the trailer looked pretty freaking sweet, and I heard it was supposed to be like a more of a R-rated version of Hellboy. I was like, that seems to fit. That's a good idea. That's awesome. But then you go into the movie, and they're just swearing for no reason at all. They're just saying the F-bombs here and there. Like it doesn't make sense. It's like they're trying to make it seem like it's badass more than it is. More kick-ass movie.
Yeah.
But it was just unnecessary swearing, unnecessary gratuity, and a lot of shoddy graphics.
Oh yeah, I noticed that in the trailer. They hit it fairly well, but I noticed some of it. I'm like,
There was some good graphics in it, but for the most part, it wasn't very well done. The graphics, and you know what? It's too bad because I actually liked Dave Harbour as Hellboy. He did a good job. I still prefer what the fuck's his name? Ron Perlman's. But him as like a substitute was very well done. I liked his Hellboy.
I liked that he was in it because I like Dave Harbour as well, but I hated, like, I think even before the film came out, they were already talking about how he had issues behind the scenes or whatever with the director and stuff. Like they got in some arguments, and he wasn't a big fan.
Well, see, I heard that he was a big promoter of the movie.
Yeah, it seemed like he was, but then
he
after
wanted
that,
this to be a good franchise that he would be continuing with.
He was excited to play.
But and I like Ian McShane, and he played like the dad character, but I didn't care for his character
what's
in this.
the witch? I'm trying to think of the actress.
Oh, Mia Jovovich.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lilo from
And
Velvet,
she does Mila Jovovich, I guess, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
She's not quite Lilu, but
she's come out of Resident Evil.
I'd say she's more like Resident Evil,
Yeah.
which version of a Resident Evil character.
Oh.
And I mean, I might watch it again if it's on TV. I might watch it again just because there are some kind of cool moments. But yeah, it's just a big disappointment because I love the first two Hellboy movies with Ron Perlman and Benicio del Toro. Or sorry, not Guillermo del Toro's.
Yeah.
Creatures are really cool, and there's some cool creatures in this movie too. But it's just very badly done.
I watched a YouTube video of someone trying to explain the plot of the movie, and it was just like so all over the place, and just
It really is.
it made no sense.
If they would have stuck with like maybe one comic book story, then it would have been a better movie. But you can tell that they jump from this story to that story to this story, and it doesn't work seamlessly.
Are Guillermo and Benicio related?
I don't think so. I think it's like Smith with like the Latina.
Because when you corrected yourself,
James
you're like,
Will?
sorry, Guillermo. I'm like, what's Benicio's last name?
Are they brothers?
Okay.
So Hellboy 2019, disappointment.
So my third pick, not really. Actually, it's not a movie. It's not a game. It's not a TV show, and it's not even an album. It's a place. Disneyland.
Oh,
I was so fucking disappointed when I went
disagree.
there. Maybe if I was 15 years or even more younger, I was
When did you go to Disneyland recently?
like 2-3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But like I was told these things like everyone's always smiling. The people that work there, they're always happy and in a good mood. No, these people look like they just were ready to die. They hated this place. I heard that if you can go around and collect autographs from the people.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to a couple people. They're like, "No, too busy," and they just walked away. And like, douche.
You sounded like you went to the Russian Disneyland. Maybe. Not
It
too
was
busy.
they had California Adventure. I went to both California Adventure and the original.
Yeah.
They had shut down the fucking Splash Mountain and the Haunted Mansion when I was there.
Oh, that sucks.
One or the other I could live
Especially
with.
Splash Mountain. I never been to the Haunted Mansion was okay. It was fun. Splash Mountain's awesome. That's why you go to Disney.
I could have lived with one or the other.
But two of the most
Yeah,
iconic.
both of them.
And then I was trying to see It's a Small World After All, just for the the fact that
That would be a disappointment right there. In
I couldn't get in. It was all like stroller parking takes up the whole fucking thing, and then there's all these people with their crying babies like, don't bring your kids here if they're younger than 4 years old. They're not going to remember. They're just going to scream and piss off everyone else. The only good things about that was I got to see the Guardians of the Galaxy
the tower
one.
type
That
thing,
was good. And some of the like other Marvel characters were starting to show up, like Captain America. Loki was one of the guys I approached to get an autograph, and he was like, "No, I got a show to do. Sorry." I'm like, "Fuck off." Maybe I would go back if I had kids of my own, or if they made like a Toontown sized area of just the Marvel stuff. That'd be fucking awesome. Toontown also, all their houses are like empty.
If I was to say any disappointment with Disneyland, it was 21 years ago that I was there. But Toontown was a disappointment. There wasn't much to do.
I remember I saw like one of their travel package videos, and they're showing people in, I think it was Goofy's house, like jumping on everything.
Yeah.
There was nothing left of that place. It was just all hard plastic.
When
They got rid of all that.
I think it existed, but you had to be below a certain height, so I couldn't even go.
Yeah.
I was like 5 when I went to Disneyland, so I mean I have memories,
And
but
For me, it lived up to the height for me when I was like 12 or whatever. So it lived up to the height for me when I was there.
Of course, yeah.
for the price, way not worth it. And even the food was not that great. I didn't care for any of
I
that.
remember the food. I think I had.
I remember
pickle.
churros. That was
I
like
had
the
a
first
pickle.
place I had churros.
So yeah,
I didn't
Disneyland.
have
Go to
pickle. I hated
Disneyland
pickles
for a
then.
pickle?
No, I hated pickles then. I didn't have a pickle.
Okay.
I remember someone else eating a pickle.
That was great.
I didn't even eat pickles back then. What am I talking about?
Okay. I'm gonna go a little
I lied.
different than here too. I've got some other movies that are huge, but I'll say this: any Red Hot Chili Pepper album that doesn't have John Frusciante on it is a disappointment to me. And The most recent two, I don't know why, but I thought maybe I could just be positive about it. So it's strange because it's not a disappointment in the sense that I knew they weren't going to be good.
Yeah.
But it is a disappointment still in that they're
It's-
one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, still not back to what I
And
remember.
it's not what I want. But I literally look at, for a band that I say is my favorite, a lot of times when people ask if I have to spit one out, and I look back and I think, well, I don't like their first albums where they're all just funk and everything like that. Mother's Milk was meh. And then John Frusciante came in and he was awesome for an album.
Mm-hmm.
And then he left and the next album sucked because they had Dave Navarro. And then he came back and every album was good until he left again. So any album without John Frusciante is a huge disappointment. And thankfully looks to be being rectified. So
It's kind of, I don't know albums very well for Chili Peppers, but I know we all kind of share our love for Chili Peppers. They're some of our favorite bands.
Like the last one I bought was the one with there's like a fly and a pill.
yeah, that was the first one. Is Get.
Remember Rain Dance Maggie was on it.
That's on that album.
That one's alright. I like that
I mean,
song.
it's okay. So that's the thing. That was the first one without John, and I think that basically Flea and wrote that album, if you will, and the other guy jumped in. And there are some okay songs on it, but in general, it's still a disappointment. Most of the John Frusciante albums I can listen to and like almost every song on them.
I just find, like, yes, it's disappointing, but on the other hand, like, there's so many other bands and people that when they tried to come into like the newer stuff that they didn't succeed. So I kind of put it in with that, like, yeah, they were good with their old stuff, and now they tried to evolve, but I wasn't so aware at the time of the band members.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see now how much of a difference it'll make.
Yeah, because the last one, the most recent one from them was definitely not. The Getaway with had like a bear on the cover and a little girl walking. Definitely not as good. So.
Okay. I like that we're stretching up to different mediums now. So I guess to do the last one, because they're running short on time. This is the last thing here. I was going to do the Anthem, but I think we've expressed our Anthem love-hate thing before. I don't need to mention it. A movie that, I mean, I don't hate the movie, but for what I wanted it to be, it's a disappointment. R.I.P.D.
Oh.
I love that movie.
I'm okay with it.
I expected you guys both to like it, but I wanted it to be basically the next Men in Black.
I know.
Meets like Ghostbusters sort of thing.
And it was.
And it was not. It was a disappointment for me. And I love Ryan Reynolds and I love Jeff Bridges. And I thought that would be like a match made in heaven. But honestly, the times that I laughed at it was when the old Chinese guy like had his banana out and stuff. It was usually whenever the Chinese guy was out. That's the times I was laughing. And I didn't think that the story was okay, but I thought like the graphics were terrible.
Yeah, I was just saying, going back to graphics.
When the guys like turned into like their ghost form, whenever they would turn to their ghost form, it always looked like crap, like a video game version of this character.
As much as I love the show, and I do laugh at it, like I've actually watched it a few times. There is some things that I think are lame in it. The most lame thing out of all of it was the whole Indian food curry makes them
that might be from the comics. I don't know.
Maybe I didn't even know it was based on comics. But so that, and the other thing about it you could point out too is the way it kind of ended. In a way, almost made it seem like that you couldn't have a sequel.
Kevin Bacon, like another good actor that I like too, but like I just thought it wasn't what I found myself like forcing laughs while I was watching.
Yeah, like
forcing myself to enjoy things. But I never really was like there. I was never really enjoying it.
There were some stupid things too as well. Like another stupid one was the big fat Buzz.
Yeah.
He's got like a thong.
He's
got like a thong.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to do that? But I liked it. So
I like it, but I don't like it as much as I really wanted to. Like I said, I love Men in Black. I love Ghostbusters. I thought it was gonna be like kind of like that. Like, oh, this is awesome. This is a cool idea. But it really fell flat for me.
I never really wanted to go that way, so I guess that's why I'm more okay with it. I like to see him kind of start with that premise of Men in Black, but in the afterlife, and then do some kind of like left turn and then really change it up.
The biggest disappointment when it comes to that movie for me is that they're not making any more.
If they would make more and improve on it, absolutely. Like I love the idea and I love the actors, but no, it fell flat for me. I really wanted it to be better. So that's our biggest disappointments. We might do another one in the future. Who knows? There's a lot of things that we hate. Oh man. Where can we find you there, MussKeg?
Yeah, Twitch, Twitter, and PSN.
The LewisLightning on Twitch is where you'll find me.
And I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and PSN as CountryBoy_9. Hit the bell below. Comment. What are your biggest disappointments?
Is this your biggest disappointment?
Do you hate this episode? Salute. Do you hate this episode? Salute. Dabbing! 10-year-olds around the world are loving you.
Is it back now?